What do you love about music?
I could be here all day, but the thing I like about music is I'll give you a perfect example. And this was yesterday when I was dealing with some issues, stress, and I just turned on music really loud and just vibe to it. It will help. It helps me sometimes put me in a mood where it just takes me away from my problem and put me in a positive place. And even making music sometimes, like it just soothes me. I can't. I don't think I can be without music pretty much. And I just don't listen to hip hop. I listen to everything, everything. And hip hop was not the first music I actually liked, but in the 80s, that's when I started like gravitating to it. Like 84, 85, 86, around there. I started gravitating to it, Run DMC, Beastie Boys, and all that. And, you know, Third Bass, even some local Detroit artists like AWOL and, Awesome Dre. And music has been around my life since the disco era, since in the 70s when I was born. My mother was always playing music, and she loves music, house music, and disco. And when I first started DJing, I didn't start spinning hip hop. I started off of house music. That's how I learned how to DJ, was off of house music. So technically, house music is my first love in music.
What do you love specifically then about Windsor hip hop and Windsor's hip hop scene?
The best, I would say, the talent. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of the talent here don't know the business side, but some of the talent is wonderful. Um, you know, a lot of people are creative. I've seen, it was at the Cipher last Friday. We had there on the across the street from the university outside. This guy, he did a song, and he didn't just rap about anything. He told a story. And the story he told was about, I mean, it was a funny song. It was about how he was at a restaurant and he caught diarrhea. And he gave the whole entire breakdown on it. Like, it actually happened to him. I don't know if it was real or not, but it was creative. And the creativity is what I liked in the song, because I was sitting there like, wow, man, I want him to do that song again. But of course he wasn't do that. But it's the creativity.
That might be hitting a bit close to home, getting diarrhea with the current outbreak in Michigan and in Windsor at this point. I think we got like 30 people sick with I forget what it's called now. The point is, might be hitting close to home for some people. A lot of people I think can relate to that at this point. But I think storytelling within music is something that I really love about it as well. If you can tell a good story through your music, all the better, right? And that takes a great deal of talent to do. We asked you what you love about music, asked you what you love about Windsor's hip hop scene. Last question, last question in this topic, what do you love about the Windsor Hip Hop Festival? You've been doing it for 10 years. So what is it that you love about putting on that festival or this festival?
Putting on a good show for the community. I like people to be entertained. That's what I want, people to be entertained. Some people will put on a show and they'll just put on a show for other artists. I want to put on a show for the people, because I've been to hip hop shows where there's nothing but artists performing for artists. That's what we want to kind of get away from. We want to put shows on for the people, the crowd, the community, not just other artists. Because when you just have an artist to show up to shows, what's the point? This is one thing I want to kind of touch on with the artists. Even though if you're not booked on the show, still go support that show. Talk to that promoter. It's like, hey, can I bring my merchandise to your show and sell it? I mean, that's a good way to get your name out there. Or even, I remember this one rapper years ago, Lost Cause. We hardly booked him on shows, but he was at every show. And he literally would have flyers with his name on, his links to his I think it was MySpace at that time, or it was SoundCloud or something like that, where he had his music where people can go to it and see. He was at every show passing out. He was even at nightclubs downtown Windsor that didn't even play hip hop music. He was in there passing out his cards and stuff to grab a fan base. So the artists need to do that.
You got to put in the work, right? You got to put in the work, and
Put
also
in that
supporting
work.
others, showing up to their shows is a big deal. It's like Freemasonry. If you want your lodge to be supported, you got to support other lodges as well, and visit regularly.
The Windsor Hip Hop Festival is going down this Saturday. It starts at 11 and it ends at 8 p.m. It's at Ernest Atkinson Park, right there on University and Riverside, right between it. You see the skate park on the University side, and you see the parking lot on the Riverside, riverfront, on Riverside area. You'll see that parking. We got a great lineup. We do have our the Sacred Cipher starts at 1. But before that, we have other little performances and whatnot at 11. But, the main part, the Sacred Cipher starts at 1. 2 to 4, we have the ladies take over. And then at 4, we have Riot. They have a whole hour of Riot doing their thing. Because, Riot's been all over the city performing. So, hey, shout out to Riot. Then we got the Windsor Hip Hop Explosion between 5 and 6 with other local hip hop artists. Then we got the legends of the Windsor Hip Hop, the veterans, the guys who used to do it back in the day, featuring Case Close, King Castro. And also we got the main event with Mr. Blackmore and the Berserk. They are the headliners for the show. Come down, represent with the Windsor Hip Hop. If you want more information, go to windsorhiphop.ca. Also, check out Windsor Hip Hop TV, where you see nothing but Windsor Hip Hop videos all day. So go to windsorhiphoptv.com for that. Other than that, hey, come out, support.
And admission is
Free. It's 100% free. Oops, hold on. I got the background kind of trying to show the flyer,
I
but
got the
there's the
I'll be putting
flyer.
the links up. I'll put the links to what you mentioned in the description. So don't worry, people will find it. And admission is free. I'm going to be there from 11 to 12. I'm going to do some live
Right.
streaming just like last year, just talking about the
Okay.
festival. Again, this goes back to what I said at the start, but I'm a really big believer in this. Um, Ultimately, I'm a Canadian first. I'm a part of Windsor first. I'm a part of this community first. I think it's incumbent upon me as a Freemason, as a member of lodges here, to support my community and to care about what happens in my community. And the Windsor Hip Hop Festival, yourself as a Freemason, yourself as an artist, I think it's a great example of doing something really wonderful for the community, not just for the artists that you give the chance to perform, to get their name out to other people, to get their, in wrestling, we'd use the term reps in, right? A lot of it, especially for newer artists, it's about needing the practice time, needing to get up on stage, they need to figure out how to do what they're doing. You give them that opportunity and you give them that exposure that they so desperately need. And also you give the people of the community a chance to check something out, a chance to enjoy themselves, a chance to see new music. The vendors get the opportunity to promote themselves. I want to, again, I think it's wonderful to see these things happening in a community. I think it's wonderful to see Masons caring about what happens in the community and wanting to give artists the chance to perform and the community the chance to see some awesome performances. So I think that's awesome on your part, and you should be proud of the work you're doing for the last 10 years, really the last 30 years. Yeah, if you could go all the way back to your start in hip hop, because I know even before the festival, you were working with other artists and working and trying to grow the Windsor hip hop scene. So nothing but respect to you for that. I forget now. You started in hip hop before you became a Freemason, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, back in '98 when I started doing Windsor Hip Hop, because that's when I started at CJAM Radio 99.1, and then Freemason I became in 2013. So yeah,
Oh,
it was a
good. I thought for some reason you became a Freemason because I became a Freemason in 2007. I think you became a Freemason around the same time I did in Michigan. A little bit later than me.
No, 2013.
So you had
I,
been
I became now I actually tried, so it should have been sooner. It should have been sooner. Yeah, it actually should have been sooner in my 20s because I remember my uncle. He's a member of Prince Hall, and he took because he didn't live in Michigan. It was the day of my sister's wedding. He took me to Jack's Car Wash in Detroit because he was the guy who owned Jack's Car Wash as a Freemason, and he took me to go meet him so I can join the Prince Hall Lodge. But I didn't follow up. And then the next time was in 2008 or 7, where I was going to do Prince Hall again. And then something didn't pan out right or something. And I kind of, it was a long story. It was like kind of twisted a little bit. So I actually became a member of Grand Lodge of Michigan because one of my best friends in middle school was like, "Hey man, why don't you come and Grand Lodge of Michigan, check us out?" I'm like, "Okay." Went and checked them out. I did talk to Prince Hall at that time, and I was like, "No, typical Grand Lodge of Michigan," which I don't have nothing wrong with Prince Hall because they do beautiful work. Trust me, I've been to their degree work and all that, and
they do.
they're amazing, amazing.
I'm
And if you're a Mason out there, and we have recognition with Prince Hall, you got to go see their third degree. That's the only thing I got to say. It's amazing.
Prince Hall is a wonderful part of the Masonic family, both in Canada and the United States, and even has some chapters in Europe people don't realize, or some lodges in Europe. Do you, the curiosity, and I just thought of this now, because so basically you were doing hip hop for about 12, 13 years before performing and involved in hip hop for 12 or 13 years before you officially became a Freemason. Were there any lessons that you took from your time in hip hop that you were able to apply to your Masonic journey?
Mm,
I mean, I
I
assume
think about that one.
even something as basic as like obviously showing up to lodge on time, you got to show up to your shows on time, things like that. I mean, the preparation and the work that goes into being active as an artist, I assume, is similar to what you see in Freemasonry. But any lessons?
So yeah, I remember when before I actually became a member of Windsor 403, and I was a member in Livonia United 152, and you actually had me do work. Uh, and I was like, man, I'm nervous. Oh my goodness, I'm not trying to mess this up, but I had to put in my mind like, what would DJ Needle do? So instead of doing the work, I don't know if you had me doing working tools or something else. Um, and I had to put on that DJ Needle 914 hat to get through that. So I would say that because sometimes, like, if I'm just doing something as Dewaun, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm nervous, but I have to like trick myself, do it as Needle, so it come out right.
I think that's a trick a lot of people could probably take a lesson from or learn from, right? If you do find yourself nervous doing Masonic work or ritual, just imagine the version of yourself that wouldn't be nervous. And if you're lucky enough to have that, all right, I got to run. I know you want to talk to somebody. So thank you so much for being here. All the links are in the description to this video. August 8th, this Saturday, 11 a.m., free admission. Check out some local artists, some veterans of hip hop in Windsor, and I'll see you soon.
All right, thank you, and I'll see you guys this Saturday.